There are also tremendous infrastructure funding challenges that exist in rural areas. The application process through the Small Community Fund is daunting. And the Small Community Fund today is dedicated towards communities that have 100,000, municipalities that have 100,000 people or less. Well, in Canada, there are only 50 communities that have more than 100,000 people. There are close to 5,000 communities that have less than 100,000 people. How does a community of 1,000 people and less compete with a community of 100,000 people? One of the challenges around the application process is that these communities they don't have the internal resources to fill out these complex applications, and they don't have the financial resources to be able to hire professional fund or grant writers to be able to brand these resources. Mr. Speaker, also I forgot to mention at the very beginning, I'll be splitting my time with the member from Ottawa South. I apologize for that. Mr. Speaker, so what our government once again is listening to mayors like Bernice Jenkins when they say, we're having problems putting our asset management plan together. So we're dedicating $50 million towards asset management plans, the generation of asset management plans, so that it creates a level playing field for our small municipalities to be able to fill out these funding applications and once again be able to communicate the need that they have, because at the end of the day, these applications or these grants are awarded based on perceived need. Well, if you can't brand that need, well, guess what? Your need's not going to be perceived to be as high as someone who can brand that need. Another part of the Small Community Fund is the third. A third municipalities pay, a third the provinces pay, and a third the federal government pays. Well, that's, once again, very difficult for small rural communities that have had highways downloaded to them, like the mayor of Hastings-Highlands, Vivian, where they've got a piece of Highway 62 that they had to actually reject the funding that they had received under the Small Community Fund because they couldn't afford the third, right? Well, our government under this budget is going to be relaxing that criteria, that once again, dependent upon the financial situation of a municipality and the need to get that project done, our government is going to be able to assist them in providing a greater portion of that funding. Also, the problem that we have with being shovel-ready. Well, most communities, once again, Deseronto and Mayor Norm Clark needs to do a $7 million expansion to their plant, water plants. Well, they need to generate a $700,000 report just to be shovel-ready. That's more than their whole budget. So once again, our government has, in this budget, is relaxing that requirement. Mr. Speaker, there are so many aspects of this budget that will benefit rural Canada.